Maybe this is the motivation you need, or maybe not. There's a simple workout you can watch too if you want to do that as well. But what if I said workouts are my therapy? Or the weights and I are the only thing getting me through the day? What kind of response would that stir in you? Would you agree and add something to it? Like, my mental health solely relies on lifting heavy circles? Or would you say something more like, it's just training, why have an emotional attachment to it? It's just performance and numbers at the end of the day. If training or lifting were the end all be all of curing mental health, why doesn't everyone just pick up the weights when they're depressed? I remember reading somewhere that the opposite of depression is expression. I think I like that statement. It always resonated with me. It's similar to the flow state in martial arts training, if you've ever done that, where you kind of forget yourself in the training. Like, you're focused, but not too focused to not focused, if that makes any sense. So, does the act of lifting weights get you in that flow state? Or is this just another endeavor in your day to overcome? Or are you lifting weights and training just for the sake of achievement? Or is it for the sake of your sanity? I think Socrates said it's a shame to have a body and not try to get in shape as much as possible to see what you can accomplish with it. Don't quote me on that. I think it's Socrates, but it may be some other philosopher back in the day. I don't remember. But moral of that story is I'm in agreement with that. So, like, what is it about lifting that's so uplifting? Why do we get runner's high, so to speak, when expressing our bodies physically? And why isn't it the first thing a doc would prescribe for mental issues? It would be cool if it were like actually medicinal and the doc could just say, go lift or strength train or take a hike or, anything. It'd be cool if that was actually a physical prescription that the doc says go do and your mental health will be better because of it. That's all great and cool and all that. But what actually puts a spark in people to go do something like that? Like, what's the point in risking physical injuries in the pursuit to help your mental injuries? I guess instinctually we all know we ought to be doing something, but on the same instinctual coin, I should say, my instincts would tell me to not try to lift over 200 pounds above my head or squat down with nearly 400 on my back and try to stand back up. Nothing logical says to do those things. So what gives? Why do we continue to strive for these goals? A stoic question that you can ask yourself, and I really like this question for anything to do with life. You can ask it any for any arena of endeavor, I should say. You can ask this question. And that question is, if this is not for you, then who? So the answer to that question for me is I decided to be stronger for my family. I wanted to be mobile and training when I'm in my 70s, 80s, 90s, and if I make it, 100s. I'm striving for physical independence. Unfortunately, I've seen what it's like to deteriorate physically, firsthand and while watching unfit members of family come and go. I will not be the person relying on help all the time. I'm choosing a hard life now so it can be an easy one later on. Building the foundation now so it's solid and I can have fortitude for life and what it can throw at me. So ultimately, just find your reason for doing anything. I think that's a good goal in and of itself. Striving just for striving's sake is still a goal, regardless of what you're doing. You're still putting your best foot forward and being the best human you can possibly be. And what is wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with a simple life either. You don't have to be training all the time. You don't have to be in the gym all the time. If doing enough is enough for you, then that's enough. Which is funny because I'm wearing the I am Knuff shirt today. Oh man, that cracks me up. So there's my meager advice for the day. You're doing good. You're doing plenty. Keep it up. The world is for you as of right now, for you. And I gotta. Sometimes I struggle to tell that to myself that everything is where it is because you put it where it is. So there's my mental health talk, I guess, for the day. And I'll probably talk about lifting now. And what I did today was 3 sets of 8 with 140 pounds on the overhead press. That was the first movement I did. And no, wait, I did 2 sets of 8 and then 1 set of 7. I didn't get the last one of 8. And I think it was my triceps that failed on that one, which is shocking, believe it or not, because I am limb dominant. And what that means is, if you don't know, that my arms respond to training more than my torso muscles do. So whenever I typically do a press, my triceps will take over. Bench press, incline press, overhead press, and for some reason, especially incline press. And I don't have an incline bench in my garage, so I normally do flat. And flat gets my chest really sore lately, so I've been digging that. But overhead press still freaking slams my triceps. And that's really all I do for triceps anymore is just overhead press work and my bench work. Sometimes I'll add a overhead tricep extension with the Swiss bar. That's maybe once every 2 weeks. And another thing about being limb dominant, and I want to bring this up because maybe you're limb dominant too, and maybe you've experienced this, but my tricep tendons get smoked fast. I'm talking any more than, I would say, 12 sets a week of anything to do with pressing or using my arms in an extension motion. It'll smoke my triceps. So I don't know if anyone has experience with that being limb dominant versus torso dominant. But if you do, I feel your plight. And it's been very hard to build up specifically my chest muscles because my triceps will always take over. And I've done things recently to help out with that. But mainly, I use my arms for most of my pressing and lifting. It's just, you can't, as much as every scientific guy out there wants to eliminate certain muscles and use certain muscles, your body's going to lift how it's going to lift. So I like to put it in the proper position and then let the body do what it's going to do. Yeah, you can buy a certain muscle, certain heads of the muscle. But at the end of the day, if you got to move freaking 280 pounds off your chest from a bench press, you're not thinking, oh man, I got to use my lateral head of my tricep for this only. No, your body's thinking, okay, I'm using everything physically possible that I've been set up for to freaking move this weight. And it's going to do that. Alrighty, next up, I moved over to strict barbell bent over rows. So my current split, I do a chest movement with a upper body pull movement for vertical. So I'll do like a bench press and then a pull up, so to speak. And on this day, I'll do a vertical press and a horizontal pull. So I'll do axle bar press, overhead press with a regular barbell, and then a horizontal pull like you see here, like it's just a rowing type motion. So I'll do like a barbell bent over row or ring rows. Sometimes I use the Swiss bar for a row, but you get the idea. I try to just switch up the arm movements. So if I'm doing again, I just said it, but if I'm doing a horizontal press, the same workout, I'm going to do a vertical pull. So if I'm doing a vertical press, I'm going to do a horizontal pull. Hopefully that makes sense. It's not too complicated. I just switch up the arm movement. So I wouldn't want to, for the sake of it, for example, I wouldn't want to do. Ooh, look at that view. I wouldn't want to do vertical press and a vertical pull up on the same day. That's just me. That's what I find I like. Dude, enough of me switching the weights. Let's get to it. I should have edited that out, but oh well. I worked up to 175 on these today. I'm still pretty smoked from 285 zerchers with my back. So I kind of just went for more, I guess, the hypertrophy range, rep range today. 12, 10s, 8s. I think I got a 7. I don't know. I wasn't striving for a strength training session today. Uh, I woke up and it was piss poor raining out. And that's why all my freaking shots look super dark today. Like I had to really edit out how dark it was. It was so dark in the garage gym today. Maybe get like a ring light or anything. If you guys have any recommendations on lighting with one outlet, please let me know because it's if it's dark out there, I'm telling you it's dark. Like I can lift in it, but filming out there is ridiculously dark. So I think I'm setting up for last set here, and I finished up this workout with zercher Jefferson curls. I had a person recently comment on a video if I've ever tried them, and I said not yet. So I was like, man, I'll try them today. And I gotta say, I think I liked them quite a bit. So we're gonna see that footage here coming up after I do. Let's see how many I do here. If I'm going for hypertrophy reps, I really don't even count my head. I just go till I feel burned. I don't know if anyone else trains like that. I guess that's the instinctual training. I guess is just go when you feel like you want to. But let's see what I got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and a little bit of a cheat one for 9. Dude, even my cheat ones look alright. I've seen people really cheat those up there. Jeez. Alright, here's me setting up and trying the Jefferson curl just with the bar. My mobility is like the tin can mixed with the shit brick house. So I don't get nearly as far down as people like Atlas Power Shrugged or all those odd lift guys. I did not get that low. But I tried to keep my knees straight. I have to really shoot my hips back. That's just how I'm built. Uh, and yeah, this is pushing it. This is where my elbows are right there, right where my knees were. That's a stretch for me. Like that's a burning hamstring stretch. And that's a bit more shallow than where a bar would be if I was doing RDLs. I think I can get to mid shin doing RDLs. But yeah, those Jefferson curls really did fire me up, and I'm actually actively trying to get lower. Like I'm squeezing my abs, flexing down, trying to get lower. That's how stiff my upper body is as far as flexibility goes. So I decide to add 10 pounds to each side to try to get lower. Sometimes it helps to add weight to your stretch movements. It puts you in a better stretch position. Like, I don't know if anyone else has experienced this with like squatting, but I my body works better and squats better with weight, whether it being on my back or in front of me, especially in front of me, like a counterbalance, but the weight pushes my hips and knees down into the squat position. Like it's very difficult for me to squat normally without added resistance to it because my body's so wound up. I'm guessing a lot of people are like that because we're in the strength and fitness world, and I do believe to some degree strength and fitness does bound you up a little bit. So if you're not stretching all the time, I think you're at a disadvantage. I don't think it has to be your whole routine to just focus on stretching, but you should definitely have stretch based movements like you see here. So the person that recommended me to do these, I applaud you because I needed to do them and I liked them quite a bit, and I think I'm going to add them in. And I normally do good mornings with a low bar position on my back, and I think I like these a bit more. So I don't necessarily need a rack. I just set up on the bench there. And coming up real quick is the last film shot I did with 65-pound Jefferson zercher curls. Did like them quite a bit. Am a big fan. Will use them in the future. I love zercher anything. I could do zercher any movement with the barbell. I love it. It's just a comfortable spot to keep the bar on in your body. Used to love back squat, high bar squat, but I don't know. Something about these zerchers have just been resonating with me very well. It just works with how my body is structured. I have enough forearm tolerance and forearm size that the zerchers don't really hurt right there. Do like them quite a bit. Moral of this story is, big fan of zerchers. Try them out if you haven't. You will adapt to the pain in the crook of your elbow just like you would with the bar on your back for regular squats. You just have to adapt to it. That's all there is to it. And if you've gotten this far, wow. I've been talking my head off. I appreciate you. Please do like and subscribe. Much appreciated. And again, if you got this far, very, very proud of you. And I appreciate you. So here's a few more reps. I'm trying to get low, guys.